Hello.
Hi there.
Hello, Jana. Thank you for accepting this invitation and being here today in this talk. I am looking forward to all the things that you have to share with us.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. So let's start.
Yeah. I know that you are specialized on customer journey, but just share a bit of your story and what brings you to the point that you are now.
Okay, so yes, as you mentioned, I'm a customer journey strategist. But actually, my online journey has started about 7 years ago when I started my business. And my motivation behind that was really to become location independent. So I've ever since the beginning, I've only worked with people who offer their services online. And to start with, I was helping them improve their experiences of running their online businesses. But that gradually evolved into also helping them set up their systems and processes in a way that would provide better experiences for their clients. And that's what I eventually started specializing in. So now I mostly work with online group course providers or group program providers, helping them to improve experiences for their attendees.
Oh, that's cool. So your reason why was the location independence, and this also one of my motivations. So, and actually we know each other from the one group that is actually focused on that. So yeah, but now at the moment we are in the same city, so this quite
Yeah, it's
funny.
actually quite unexpected, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're one of the very few people I know from the online world that I've actually met in the real life. So it's nice.
Yeah, same here. So it's funny. Great. So let's jump a bit about your expertise and how do you feel that customer journey could help specifically to online course creators? That is the main audience that are listening to us.
Um, it really helps with many things. And I think the online world is becoming really saturated. There are so many people offering very similar courses. There might be very small differentiation between on the same topic depending on who delivers that course. And so the experience people have whilst they are taking the course with you can be actually one of the main differentiators. And it's actually one of the things that people remember most, how you made them feel. That's what
Nice.
they then will talk about when someone else asks about the course. They're not going to be sharing like the content that you were teaching them, but they are actually gonna talk about their experience that they had with them or with you. So that's where I see how it helps course providers as well. It's that when you have that customer journey really clearly mapped out and you provide that streamlined experience, you're building relationships with your clients at the same time. And so they want to stay with you longer. So they might want to buy your next course. They might become an ambassador for your brand, recommending you to other people. So there are many benefits.
Yeah, and actually you are touching some point that I feel so important, and a lot of people forget about this. How we are focusing on get new customers, but how we treat the customer that we actually have, and how we try to get them become a loyal customer and long term customer. And this one of the things, having the experience. It's not just about what you learn, and also for learning itself the experience is important to how you assimilate all this knowledge and take action as well, and the accountability and all that stuff. So yeah, actually, yeah, I totally agree on how important could be focus on optimize the customer journey and put special care on it. So
yeah,
cool.
I'm so glad you actually mentioned that, because there is so much focus when we are learning about how to run an online business. There's so much focus on the marketing side of things, on the social media presence, on the sales. But when it comes to actually, building that relationship with your customers, there's not much. Not many people even teach that or talk about that. And so actually before I started specializing in this, I've had a couple of experiences that had left me really feeling like, really? Really? This is the experience you're giving me? Like, I was expecting so much more. And so what I'm trying to do is really to bridge that gap between the expectations and the delivery part as well.
Yeah. And you mean this experience was as a user yourself, as a student, or yeah,
exactly.
I have the same experience, and it's like so disappointing when you get an expectation and then it's just fluff, and it's like they don't, or a lot of people that are telling they are for example buying a course to get to someone method or something, but they actually doesn't have any contact with that person, or just is there is not nothing behind, and they feel this that they don't care for this person. It's just a number, it's just a cell, but they don't care about have you learned this, or what do you get from there. Did you get the actual outcome that I was promising before? And this is one of the main things when you are thinking about your course and how you promote it. It's like, okay, you are telling them what is the outcome that you will get. It's really, really important that you get that, because otherwise they don't, you are losing the trust, and this is so hard to build that trust. And for example, with personal branding, this is one of the main focus, like building the trust and creating these real relationships. So it's so hard to build and so easy to ruin it with a bad experience.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, losing a customer is very costly. And then it's not just that cost of losing a customer because they were not satisfied with the experience that they had with you, but it's also the time and energy and money you have to pour again into getting new people in the door and just repeating that process and then market to new people again. It doesn't make sense. It makes so much more sense to focus on really building those relationships and caring for your customers and, delighting them in the process.
Yeah. Also, one thing, I don't know, what do you think about this? Because it's not just when they have bought something from you, but with the first contact that you have with them, how you treat them and how you approach them. Or let's say you are sending DMs without telling hi or anything, or just pushing your self speech, and that is like from the beginning, how you treat that person is giving an impression, and it's an experience with you that they are starting. So,
yeah, and that's actually the beginning of the customer journey when they come across of you for the first time. It's not like their journey with you does not start when they buy or does not start when they start your course, and also it does not end when they finish your course. It starts like long before and does not even ever need to end if you're nourishing the relationship. So it's that's actually one of the myths around the customer journey, is that it's much shorter than it actually is. So people are not considering that those initial stages when potential clients start interacting with you or even just come across of your post, they might not even reach out to you, but they are already observing you, and that relationship has already started.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something that I have heard from several people, that someone out of the blue, they were following them for a long time, but they didn't comment, they didn't show up, but they in the moment they say something, they are buying because they are a follower, a true loyal follower, but they are not showing up. So there are people that you maybe don't notice that they are there, but they are listening to you and they are watching how you are behaving and that. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Like one of the myths that you actually have to debunk to your customer could be this, the main one that you always have to handle.
This is one of the main ones, but I would also mention another one, and that would be that many small business owners think that, you know, they don't really need to look into mapping their customer journey now whilst they're small. They're kind of waiting until they are bigger, meaning, you know, they are getting hundreds of people into their courses, or, you know, like they're waiting to be at a different level before they start looking into these things. And I would really argue that it's actually the opposite, because when you are really just starting out and trying to build your brand, it's so important that you delight your customers, because then they become the ambassadors for your brand. They will be doing the positive word of mouth marketing for you. So
Yeah.
you know, they are helping you to build your brand, actually. So your work becomes easier as a result. So
Yeah. Yeah, and also is one main thing, like the fundamentals that you are building. If you are starting with this in mind, it's like same, for example, with processes and methods that you have. Even if it's one person show, if you started like with system and processes and that, if someone else came to your team, it's easier because everything is in place. So I feel that this is the same, having the onboarding and all the process, like checking out, like everything is as it should be, is making that when you grow, everything is already in place. So I
yeah,
feel that, yeah, from the beginning is something that you could start watching out.
yeah, like you shouldn't be looking at it as something extra to add to your to-do list.
Yeah.
Because it's actually making things easier for you in the long term. So it's much more sustainable as a strategy.
Yeah, and also for example, in online courses, one of the problems when they have both and everything is the completion rate. So I feel that this could be something that really can increase that rate, and increasing that rate means more happy customers, and then later they could, as you mentioned, they could become even ambassadors of your brand and your courses.
Yeah, so if the attendees of your course really feel supported and they really feel like they're part of the community, and you know, they can relate to the other people doing the course as well, that really motivates them to keep going with the course as well. But also, you know, if someone drops out in the middle of the course, they're not going to leave a testimonial for you. They have no motivation to leave a testimonial for you, because like
Yeah.
it would be only a half truth, really. So you are losing that sort of social proof as well. So, you know, again, investing in caring for them and providing that experience really pays off also in higher completion rates, testimonials in the end, all of that.
Yeah, sure. What would you say that is one of the biggest objections that they have in general? Because could be this, like, is not, I am not in the stage, but something else that came to your mind about some objections?
It's not really an objection, or I wouldn't call it an objection, but it's more kind of a confusion around where to even start with this.
Okay.
I think perhaps the customer journey, the words make it sound as something complicated or sophisticated. Yeah. So I would really just say, look at it as a journey in terms of travel planning as well. You know, so you're taking them on a journey with you, and you need to provide certain things along the way so that they enjoy that journey, and then want to even like share the photos from their holiday.
Okay, yeah.
With the world, you know, speaking in.
Yeah, I love that example because this is easy to understand to almost everyone. Because maybe there is a confusion about what is specifically included in this. So let's say for someone that has an online course, in which areas you will help them to mapping out the journey? What will you check or focus or design for them?
Well, I look, well, it depends. If someone asks me to do a full customer journey audit for them, that means that I look at all the areas of the customer journey that you have already in place, and I provide suggestions on how to improve in each one of them. So that would be looking at your onboarding processes. It would be looking at your customer care processes. It would be looking at your community and engagement setup. It would be looking at your communication with the participants before, during, and after the course. It would be looking at your delivery on promises that you've made whilst you were trying to get them to buy. It would be looking at how you are preparing them for what's next, the next natural step with you, so they can continue their journey with you. And also it would be looking at your setup for gathering feedback and testimonials. So all of those areas would be looked at as part of the audit. And that would be, you know, like having at the end of that, you would have really clear customer journey mapped out. And you would also have all the systems and processes, or you would have, I would have provided recommendations around systems and processes that you need to have in place in order to either be able to deliver that course and all of that experience easily, or even hand it over to someone like a virtual assistant. So you can focus on purely just delivering your expertise, the content, and really connecting with your clients. So as you mentioned before, it's that whole setup that makes it easier for you in the long run. And it also, you know, it's all streamlined. It's a better experience for you as the business owner and for them as their clients.
Yeah, and I feel that with this you will improve a lot the offer that you are providing, because it's like making sure that you are providing the outcome that you say, and the promise that you tell in your promotion, your marketing is going to be there, and how you make them engage more. So I feel that this is making everything more clear for yourself as the provider or as the creator of this. I like the idea of having this map. It's the same for course creation, having a map before, so you are sure that you will get all the stages and validate, for example, is the first one, so you don't miss that, and then you go through this and having all the steps, and the same with this mapping of the journey. And then you have clarity about what to improve or what to focus or what is not working that well. So let's focus back on this and try to get new ways to engage more or to get them to the finish of the course on that.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's so easy to get lost in all that whilst you're delivering the course, for example, because there's so many things to take care of.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have that plan, if you don't have that strategy to support you, it's easy to get lost, to forget about things, to run over time with things, to provide links later or too late for people to join in, confuse your customers, all of that kind of starts rolling one into another. And so you don't want to get there. You don't want to go there, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, now I would like to know one strategy that you have found out that is working well around this customer experience and the customer journey.
Can you clarify that question? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's something around that could be helping the online course creators, the creators in general, with a specific thing in this journey. Let's say adding some live event or element, focusing on the community part. So in which area of all this customer journey you feel something that you feel like this is really something that the people doesn't focus that much on and could be a way to improve it and even differentiate your offer, as you were mentioned, because it's also a way to highlight your offer in all your industry.
I think what is quite often overlooked is that time period between when people buy your course and the start date of your course. So basically that, they already bought, you have their money, they are looking forward to starting your course, but perhaps the course only starts in 2 weeks time, 3 weeks time. Sometimes the period can be quite long, or it could be shorter, but especially when it's a longer period between the buy date and the start of the course, people can feel really abandoned if you don't use time to really continue building that relationship. And that can be really easy. They just want to be reassured that they made the right decision buying the course from you. And so if you check in with them, if you use that time to build up the excitement, if you perhaps send them an additional information that they might need before they start a course so they can prepare for it, if you send them an additional video to watch so they get to know you better, but also again it's preparing them for the content that you have prepared for them, that all helps to keep them assured that this was a good decision. It builds the excitement, and then when they start the course, they are, they already know what to expect. The expectations were set for them. They are happy that the course has finally started, and they are not in that state of mind when they're doubting you. That's really important. I think, well, at least in my experience, I've experienced that as a client quite a few times, that I felt really abandoned. And I have that not just with online courses. My experience of even going shopping for clothes, I often experience that buyer's remorse, like, oh, maybe I'm just gonna return that thing that I just bought. And so that's the same thing that we are going through when we buy something online. we can go through that doubting period of, was this a good decision? And you do want to reassure them that yes, it was a great decision. Okay.
Yeah, actually this is a point that I haven't seen that people in general focusing that much, and I feel that this is a great point to focus, because yeah, if they have to wake a time for that, and even if they don't have to, how the onboarding, in the sense of what is the next step that they should go and do, because sometimes we are so into our process or structure, and that is so clear for us that we need the help of someone from outside to see, okay, this is not clear, and when you get here, it's not so clear that you have to start here. Maybe I will go and start not in this other place. So telling what is the next step and welcoming them, and especially if there is a gap between when they bought and when they are going to start, absolutely take care of them and welcoming them and making them excited about when you are going to start, and especially also having this little, let's say, surprise or over deliver in a way that something that they don't expect, giving them something extra so they have this feeling that, okay, this is not started, but I am already taking value. I am already, I experienced that this person is taking care of me and wants me to have this or learn this or solve this. So yeah, I like this point of focusing on this that maybe is not so highlighted sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, we covered a lot of the customer journey already. Now I would like to go a bit more personal in a way, that asking you this question about one compliment that you have received from a customer or a member of your audience that has touched you the most.
I think for me, the best compliment is if people I worked with in the past come back to me wanting to work again with me. And that's actually happened to me last night when one of the past clients sent me a message. We worked, I checked yesterday. I checked today. And we actually worked together 3 years ago. And he just came back because his situation, we stopped working together because he went back to full-time employment. So he did not really need my services in the interim. But now that he's back to working for himself, I was the first person he thought about to contact. And that's the best compliment I could ever receive, because that's actually a result of someone being happy about working with you, and that also makes the difference between whether they recommend you to someone else or whether they want to work with you again. So yeah,
that's super nice, and actually speak itself. It's like, yeah, they're coming back to work with you, even it was a long time ago. So absolutely nice.
Yeah, and that's what I help other business owners to achieve as well, so that their clients come back to them, want to continue with them, want to buy more from them. So it's the same thing.
Cool. So yes, if someone is listening to us and want to know more about you and your services and how they could find you, tell us a bit about your services and how they find you.
Yeah, so there are various ways of working with me. I just want to mention, it does not need, like, improving your customer journeys does not need to be complicated. You probably have some systems and processes in place already. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a successful business.
Yeah.
But there might be some areas that, you know, if looked at by someone who is looking at what you've created with neutral eyes, someone who can help you see things from your customer's perspective, that might be really helpful. And so just for this live, I actually was thinking how I could help people who do not need like a full audit of their customer journey, but they might have questions around how to improve certain area of their customer journey, or they might have some challenges with, you know, maybe not receiving testimonials, or, you know, people not engaging whilst they're doing their course, things like that. And so I created an offer. You know, I think you have.
Yeah, we'll share the code and
yeah, we will probably need to share the link with people as well, because it's not sitting on my website. But you have an option to have either a half an hour call or an hour call, 1 hour long call with me, and I can help you answer all your questions, provide tips on how to improve those areas. A lot can be done within half an hour, even more in 1 hour. So of course, it depends how many questions you might have, but this would be really, really, really good start for many people, because it would be very specific to your problem that you might have, and you will have actionable steps of how to, you know, solve that problem or improve that experience in that particular area. So, and yeah, I have, as you can see, I really like action takers. So if you book within 1 week from now, so basically before June 25th, which is next Friday, I have a 20% off on those offers there. So yeah, if you book within 1 week, we can have that call later on, so you will have time to prepare your questions, but that's only for the action takers.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah, otherwise you just think about it, but doesn't take action. So yeah, I would like to thank you so much for preparing this offer, special offer, and for just being here, sharing all your knowledge and your expertise. I feel that we could deep in a lot of more conversations, but maybe in other time. So thank you so much, Jana, to being here and to share this conversation.
It was really a pleasure to be here. It was really fun talking to you, especially because you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, you know, and you can relate. These are very relatable experiences. We've all been there as clients as well. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say, but it was really my pleasure to be here chatting with you about customer experiences, and hopefully we will have some time in the future to continue on the conversation.
Sure. So yeah, for the listeners and audience, so go and check the services on the website of Jana, and if you have any question, just ask her, ask me, and that's it. So thank you, and see you in the next Strategy and Tea. Bye.
Bye-bye.